Have you ever checked your pocket change and thought maybe one of those coins could be worth a fortune? Well, imagine turning over a simple penny and realizing you're holding a tiny treasure worth more than $76,000. Sounds like a dream, right? But today we're diving into the fascinating story of a seemingly ordinary coin that could be hiding in plain sight, the 1977 D. Lincoln cent from the Denver Mint. And yes, one of these coins has been valued at an astonishing $76,492. So what makes this penny so special? To understand this coin's value, we have to rewind a bit to the year 1977. Jimmy Carter had just become President of the United States. Star Wars had just hit theaters and was taking the world by storm. Gasoline was cheap, bell-bottoms were still hanging on, and people were dropping pennies into piggy banks without a second thought. But in the midst of all that, the United States Mint in Denver was quietly producing millions of 1-cent coins, more than 4.2 billion to be exact. That's right, with a B, billion. So how does a coin from such a massive batch end up worth tens of thousands? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and mystery. Let's start with the design. The 1977 D penny features the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, or front, of the coin. This design by Victor David Brenner has been in use since 1909, and it's instantly recognizable. On the reverse side, you have the image of the Lincoln Memorial, introduced in 1959 to mark Lincoln's 150th birthday. This design stayed in place until the introduction of the Lincoln Bicentennial Cents in 2009, now about that D mint mark. That tiny letter D under the year 1977 on the front of the coin tells us it was minted in Denver, Colorado. The Denver Mint is known for its high production volume, and 1977 was no exception. So again, how does this coin stand out? Well, let's talk condition. The vast majority of pennies from this era are worn, scratched, and discolored from years of use. But once in a while, one coin somehow escapes all of that. It gets tucked away, maybe straight from a mint roll into a coin collection. It never gets handled or circulated. It's protected from the elements. And when that happens, we get what's called a mint state coin, one that still looks like it just rolled off the mint press. Grading services like the Professional Coin Grading Service, or PCGS, and the Numismatic Guarantee Company, NGC, assign grades to coins based on their condition. And the top of that scale, mint state 65, 66, even 67, that's where the money really starts to shine. The 1977 D. Lincoln cent that sold for $76,492 was graded in one of those elite mint state categories. Only a handful of coins in the world are in that condition, making them incredibly rare and desirable to serious collectors. But there's more. In some cases, coins also contain errors or variations that make them even more valuable. While the $76,000 1977 D penny wasn't necessarily an error coin, other 1977 D examples have been found with striking flaws like off-center strikes, double dies, and even transitional metal compositions. These rare features can skyrocket a coin's value even further. So, how does a coin like this end up selling for such a staggering price? Auctions. When a coin is certified by a reputable grading company and put up for sale through a major auction house like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers, competitive bidding can drive prices to jaw-dropping levels. Collectors who want to complete high-grade sets or own one-of-a-kind examples are willing to pay big, and here's the kicker. You could have a valuable coin just like this hiding in your own collection, or even your change jar. The 1977 D penny is still a common date, and unless you look closely, it's easy to overlook. But if you happen to find one that looks flawless, crisp detail, no scratches, full luster, it might be worth sending it in for grading. You never know. You could be holding a small piece of copper history worth thousands. So, what's the current market value of the 1977 D. Lincoln cent today? In average circulated condition, it's just a penny. In high mint state grades, it can be worth anywhere from $50 to a few $100. But in the absolute top grades, and I mean the top of the top, we're talking thousands. And that legendary example, the one that made headlines, topped out at that unbelievable figure of $76,492. Now, that's not every coin, and those are rare exceptions. But it goes to show that even the most humble coin has the potential to be a hidden gem. So next time you're handed change at the grocery store, or you're sorting through an old jar of pennies, take a closer look. You might just strike copper gold. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare coins, be sure to like this video, subscribe for more fascinating finds, and hit the bell so you never miss an episode. Got a rare coin or a story to share? Drop it in the comments. We love hearing from fellow treasure hunters. Thanks for watching, and remember, every penny counts. Welcome back to the channel, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Today, we are diving deep into a coin that has stunned the numismatic community with its recent skyrocketing value. The 1981 D Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. That is right. A penny from 1981 that is now commanding up to $34,893 on the market. Yes, a single penny. So grab your magnifying glass, because after watching this video you might want to go through that old jar of change at home. Let us explore the rich history behind this coin, what makes it so incredibly rare and valuable, and how you could potentially find one hiding in plain sight. First, let us go back in time to the year 1981. Ronald Reagan was sworn in as President of the United States. The first IBM personal computer was released, and the Lincoln Memorial Cent was still being struck on copper alloy planchets. It was one of the final years that the penny was minted primarily using 95% copper and 5% zinc before the switch to copper-plated zinc planchets in mid-1982. Now the Denver Mint produced a staggering number of Lincoln cents in 1981. Over 5 billion of them, to be more exact. With such a high mintage, you might be thinking, how could any single 1981 D penny be worth more than face value, let alone almost $35,000? Well, here is where things get interesting. Among those billions of coins, there are a tiny handful that possess certain characteristics which set them apart from the rest. These unique features turn a common coin into a collector's dream. What makes this particular 1981 D Lincoln cent so valuable? Let us start with condition. The coin we are talking about is graded at the highest possible levels. We are talking about coins that are in mint state 69 red or even higher. These coins have never been in circulation. They are flawless. Perfect strike. No scratches. No contact marks. Full original red luster. These are museum-quality examples that have been preserved for over 4 decades in pristine condition. But that is not all. Some of these 1981 D Lincoln cents are known to exhibit incredibly rare errors or anomalies that occurred during the minting process. And that is where collectors really start paying attention. Point one such example is the doubled die obverse. In this error, the die that strikes the front of the coin has been misaligned or struck twice. This results in a noticeable doubling of the lettering or Lincoln's features. This kind of error is very rare and often brings a huge premium. Another potential variety that adds value is a transitional error. Imagine a coin struck with the wrong metal composition, or with a die intended for another year. That kind of mishap is extremely rare, and when found can make a coin worth thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars. Still others may show off-center strikes, die cracks, repunched mint marks, or other oddities. Every little imperfection that occurred at the mint but was not caught by quality control can now be a jackpot for collectors. Now you may be wondering, who determines the value of these coins? Coin values are influenced by several key factors: rarity, demand, grade, eye appeal, and provenance. When a coin like this gets professionally graded by a major grading service such as PCGS or NGC and earns a top-tier grade, it is added to their population report. If it turns out to be the finest known example, it becomes a key date for collectors. And suddenly the price skyrockets. That is exactly what happened with a 1981 D Lincoln penny that sold for $34,893 at auction. This particular example was certified as Mint State 69 Red, the highest known grade for that year and mint mark. And because collectors are always chasing the finest known examples, the bidding war went through the roof. But here is the big question. Could you have one of these rare coins sitting in your house right now? The answer is yes. It is very possible, especially if you or your family saved pennies from the early 80s. Look for coins with a shiny reddish appearance indicating full original copper luster. Then check for AD mint mark under the year. If it looks crisp, sharp, and the rest of the coin appears untouched, you could be onto something. And if you think you have a flawless example, it is absolutely worth submitting it to a professional grading service. And remember, you do not need an expensive microscope to start. A good magnifying glass, decent lighting, and a little bit of patience can go a long way. What should you do next? First, check your change. Look in your coin jars, drawers, piggy banks, or anywhere you might have stored old coins. Second, learn how to recognize basic error types and how to grade coins. There are tons of great resources online and in books to help you develop a good eye for detail. Third, join coin collecting communities. Whether online or local clubs, these groups can help you learn more and maybe even help identify your coins. And finally, if you find something promising, do not hesitate to get it graded. That small investment could lead to a massive return. Before we wrap up, let us go over the quick checklist for the 1981 D Lincoln cent worth big money. First, look for a strong D mint mark under the date. Second, check for a rich red luster. Third, look for dyed, doubling, or striking errors. Fourth, examine the overall condition. No scratches or wear. And finally, if you believe it could be in high mint state, consider getting it professionally graded. And that is it, folks. The fascinating story of how a simple 1981 penny can transform into a coin worth over $34,000. It is discoveries like this that keep the thrill of coin collecting alive. You never know what treasure you might hold in your hands. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more deep dives into rare coins and currency. Have you ever found a rare penny in your change? Drop a comment below and let us know. Until next time, keep searching, keep learning, and happy collecting. Welcome back to the channel, coin collectors and curious minds alike. Today, we are diving deep into the world of numismatics to uncover the fascinating story of a coin that looks so ordinary, yet holds extraordinary value. I'm talking about the legendary 1982 no mint mark Lincoln cent. Yes, that 1 cent penny coin you may have overlooked could be worth a jaw-dropping $63,817. Grab your magnifying glasses, coin jars, and let's explore everything about this fascinating little treasure from 1982. This story is going to change the way you look at pocket change forever. The Lincoln cent has been an iconic part of American currency since 1909. Introduced to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the coin has gone through several design and composition changes over the years. But in 1982, something truly unique happened that sparked one of the most famous mysteries in coin collecting history. Understand why the 1982 no mint mark Lincoln penny is so special. We first need to rewind to the early 1980s. The United States Mint faced rising copper prices. Making pennies out of nearly pure copper was becoming too expensive. In response, the Mint made a significant change to the composition of the penny in 1982. That year, they transitioned from a mostly copper coin to one made primarily of zinc with a thin copper plating. Now here's where it gets interesting. During 1982, both copper and zinc cents were minted. That means there are actually 7 known varieties of the 1982 penny, 4 in copper and 3 in zinc. The variations include large dates and small dates, which further complicates identification. But out of all these, one extremely rare variety stands out above the rest. That variety is the 1982 D small date copper penny, which was not supposed to exist. But wait, that's not the coin we're here to talk about today. We're focusing on something arguably even rarer. A 1982 penny with no mint mark, a small date, and struck in bronze or copper. This coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which typically did not include a mint mark on its coins at that time. Most 1982 Philadelphia pennies were either large date or made of zinc. The small date bronze combination from Philadelphia with no mint mark was not known to exist until one surfaced. And when it did, it sent shockwaves through the coin collecting community. In 2017, a collector discovered this rare specimen while searching through a random batch of coins. After being verified by experts, the coin was authenticated as a genuine 1982 small date bronze sent without a mint mark. This unique combination made it an instant numismatic legend. As of now, only a few examples are known to exist, making it incredibly rare. What makes this coin worth over $63,000? The answer lies in its rarity, condition, and the unique set of circumstances surrounding its creation. Coin collectors and investors alike are always on the lookout for coins that break the mold. A coin that wasn't supposed to exist. A coin that tells a story. And the 1982 no mint mark small date bronze cent does just that. Let's talk about the current market value. In recent years, auction houses have seen intense bidding wars over this coin. The most notable sale was when one of these coins, certified by a major grading company as being in pristine condition, sold for $63,817. That's right, a single penny turned into a small fortune. Collectors are willing to pay such staggering amounts not just because the coin is rare, but because of what it represents. It's a piece of minting history, a manufacturing error that escaped into circulation, and a once-in-a-lifetime find. The excitement and mystery that surrounds the coin adds even more value to an already priceless discovery. How can you tell if you have one of these rare 1982 pennies hiding in your change? Here's what to look for. First, check the date. Make sure it's 1982 and that there's no mint mark under the date. Then, look closely at the style of the numbers. You're looking for a small date, which has specific characteristics in the shape and positioning of the numerals, especially the number 2. Finally, you need to determine the composition of the coin. Is it made of copper or zinc? One way to test the composition is to weigh the coin. A copper penny will weigh approximately 3.1 grams, while a zinc penny will weigh about 2.5 grams. If your coin weighs around 3.1 grams, has a small date, and no mint mark, you might just be holding one of the rarest pennies in American history. Now, before you go dumping your piggy banks and running to your local coin shop, remember this. Authenticating a coin like this requires expert verification. There are a lot of fakes and altered coins out there, so make sure to consult a professional grader or numismatist if you think you've struck gold. Or in this case, copper. In conclusion, the 1982 no mint mark Lincoln cent is more than just a penny. It's a story of transition, of minting errors, of rarity, and of incredible value. From being pocket change to becoming a 5-figure collectible, this coin proves that history can sometimes be found in the most unexpected places. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more about valuable coins, hidden treasures, and surprising finds, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and drop a comment below. Maybe you have a rare coin story of your own. Or maybe you're going to start checking your change a little more closely from now on. Thanks for watching, and remember, sometimes the smallest things carry the greatest worth. Keep searching, keep collecting, and who knows, the next rare coin could be right in your pocket. Welcome back to the channel where coins are more than just spare change, they're hidden treasures. Today, we're diving deep into a seemingly ordinary piece of copper that could be worth a small fortune. Yes, we're talking about the 1987 D mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. You might have one sitting in a jar or lost under your car seat, and what you don't know is it could be worth up to $47,937. That's right. A single penny turning heads in the collector's world. Let's get into the story. The year was 1987. Ronald Reagan was president. Gas was under $1 a gallon. The Simpsons hadn't even premiered yet. And the United States Mint in Denver was quietly pressing millions upon millions of Lincoln cents. In fact, over 4 billion 1987 D pennies were minted that year. So what makes one of them so valuable? It's not just about age or condition. It's about a perfect storm of rarity, mint errors, demand, and a bit of numismatic mystery. The D you see beneath the year on the front of the coin stands for Denver, the location of the mint that produced it. This was part of the long-running Lincoln Cent series, which began back in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. The obverse side, that's the front, features the iconic profile of Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. His initials, VB, are famously found on the reverse of early 1909 issues, sparking controversy and leading to the initials being briefly removed. But by 1987, the Lincoln Cent was a well-established part of American pocket change. So, how does a coin that was once so common become a five-figure collectible? Let's start with condition. Most of the 1987 pennies were heavily circulated. They got scratched, banged up, tossed in jars, and left to tarnish. But if a coin somehow escaped that fate, if it was struck with razor-sharp detail, preserved without touching human hands, and stored in a perfect environment, it might survive in pristine condition. These are the coins that collectors chase. They're known as mint state or MS coins. And not just any mint state, we're talking MS 68 or higher, an almost flawless example according to the Sheldon coin grading scale, which maxes out at 70. Now combine that condition with rarity. A certain number of 1987 pennies were struck with minor but dramatic mint errors, off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, and more. These errors can dramatically raise a coin's value. One verified example of a 1987 Lincoln penny with extreme eye appeal, mint condition, and a dramatic die error sold for an eye-popping $47,937 at auction. That's not a myth. That's a real, documented sale, and it's changed the way collectors look at this particular issue. But it's not just one coin. Interest has grown rapidly over the past few years. As more collectors hunt for hidden gems, prices for high-grade and error examples have climbed. Coins that might have sold for a few $100s 10 years ago are now commanding thousands, and in rare cases, tens of thousands. The demand is fueled by online marketplaces, auction houses, and social media channels like this one that reveal just how valuable some of these coins have become. So, how can you tell if your 1987 penny is worth big money? First, look at the condition. If it's scratched, dull, or worn, it likely holds only face value, maybe a few cents to a collector. But if it looks unusually clean, shiny, and sharp, especially with a visible mint luster, you might have something. Next, examine it under magnification. Look for signs of doubling in the date or lettering. That's called a double die. Check for unusual edges, off-center designs, or anything that looks out of place. These mint errors are often the golden ticket. If your coin passes those tests, your next step is to have it graded by a professional coin grading service. The most respected names in the business are the Professional Coin Grading Service and the Numismatic Guarantee Company. They'll assess the condition and authenticity of your coin and assign it an official grade. This grade is crucial if you plan to sell the coin or insure it. And what about market value today? As of this video's release, the most pristine and rare examples of the 1987 Lincoln penny are fetching as high as $47,937. That figure is based on recent verified auction results. Coins graded MS 67 or higher, especially with rare mint errors, are in hot demand. Even lower-grade uncirculated coins can be worth more than face value, sometimes hundreds. So, if you've got a collection, now is the time to look through it. And if you don't collect yet, this might be your spark to get started. Because while the 1987 penny may seem ordinary, it represents a reminder that even the smallest things, a single cent, can carry incredible value, history, and intrigue. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a discovery like this one. And if you've ever found a rare coin or have a 1987 you want to show off, drop a comment below. We'd love to hear your story. Until next time, keep hunting, keep collecting, and remember, every coin has a story. Yours might be worth a fortune. Welcome back, coin collectors and treasure hunters, to another exciting episode where we uncover the hidden gems in your pocket change. Today's story might just blow your mind because we're talking about a little copper coin that most people wouldn't give a second glance. A coin that could be lying at the bottom of your change jar or slipped between your couch cushions. A coin that looks almost like every other penny you've seen, but is secretly worth a jaw-dropping $87,156. Yes, you heard that right. We're diving deep into the mysterious and valuable world of the 1992 no-mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. Let's set the scene. The year is 1992. Bill Clinton is on the campaign trail. The internet is still just a baby. Grunge music is shaking up the airwaves. And in the U.S. mint facilities across the country, billions of pennies are being struck. Most of them are the standard 1992 Lincoln cents that we've all seen and spent a million times. But hidden among these billions is a rare mistake. A collector's dream. A once-in-a-lifetime error that turned a plain old penny into a small fortune. Before we reveal what makes this coin so valuable, let's rewind the clock just a bit. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure, and it has become one of the longest-running coin series in American history. In 1959, the reverse design was changed from wheat ears to the Lincoln Memorial, marking the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. This design stayed until 2008, but back to 1992. The key to this coin's insane value lies in the details. And we mean tiny details. Most pennies from 1992 have wide spacing between the letters in the words America on the reverse side. The letters A and M in particular are clearly separated. But in this rare version, known as the 1992 close AM, those letters are practically touching. It's a subtle difference, almost invisible to the naked eye unless you know exactly what to look for. Now here's the twist. While the close AM design was officially supposed to start in 1993 for proof coins, a very small number of 1992 pennies were struck using the wrong die, a die intended for proof coins, which accidentally made its way onto regular business strike production. These error coins were minted in Philadelphia, and that's why there's no mint mark on them. No P for Philadelphia, no D for Denver, no S for San Francisco. Just a date. 1992, and this little mistake created a modern treasure. A variety so rare that fewer than 20 examples are known to exist. That's right. In a world of billions of pennies, fewer than 20 are known to have the 1992 close AM reverse without a mint mark. That rarity is what drives up the value. Collectors go wild for it. Auction houses light up when one of these surfaces. Let's talk about the money. In 2012, one of these rare close AM no mint mark pennies was discovered in near pristine condition and sold at auction for over $20,000. But the record wasn't done rising. As of the most recent sales and collector interest, the top-grade example of the 1992 no-mint mark close AM Lincoln penny was auctioned off for a staggering $87,156. That's more than the price of a brand-new luxury car. For a penny, so why are collectors willing to pay so much for such a small coin? It all comes down to rarity, condition, and demand. The coin market thrives on those three elements. And the 1992 close AM penny checks all the boxes. It's a transitional error. It's extremely rare. And it's a modern issue, which makes it even more intriguing. Most people expect older coins to be valuable. But when a coin from the 1990s, something within recent memory, hits the market and brings in 5 figures or more, it sparks a rush of excitement. Now here's the best part. You might be able to find one. These coins were released into circulation. That means they weren't special mint issues. They weren't proof-only coins. They could have ended up in your change from the grocery store or the gas station. And because most people have no idea what to look for, there's always a slim but real chance that one is still out there, hiding in plain sight. So how do you check? First, flip over your 1992 penny. Look at the word America. Focus on the A and the M. If there's a wide space between them, it's the normal version. But if those letters are nearly touching, you may just have struck gold. Well, copper technically. And if your coin is in excellent condition with minimal wear and strong detail, it could be worth thousands, maybe even close to that $87,000 record. So next time you get change back, don't just toss those pennies aside. Take a moment, check the date, look closely, because one tiny detail could mean the difference between 1 cent and a life-changing payday. And remember, in the world of coin collecting, the most ordinary-looking pieces sometimes hold the most extraordinary stories. The 1992 note mint Mark Lincoln penny is proof of that. A forgotten cent from a forgotten year that turned out to be a shining star in the coin collecting universe. Thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into rare pennies, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on another incredible coin story. And hey, let me know in the comments if you've got any interesting coins in your collection or if you're going to start checking your change a little more closely. Until next time, happy hunting and may your next penny be priceless.